Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football here at Bivens Stadium in Amarillo, Texas. I'm here with the head coach of the bi-district champion Amarillo Palo Duro Dons, Coach Eric Mims, after a 56-7 win over Paso Hanks. How does it feel to be called bi-district champions?
Man, it's been a long time coming. Northside hadn't had the pride in years, and so we're excited about 10-game win streak, and the community came out and supported us hard tonight. Kids played well. It's exciting to be a bi-district champion.
First playoff win with Palo Duro since 2014. First 10-win season since 2001. And you mentioned it, the crowd, unbelievable crowd tonight. How good has it got to make you and your kids feel when you came out here and saw basically a full house on the home side? It's got to be very fulfilling for this community to come out and support your kids.
That's what Northside Pride is, man. They love the Dons, and we're happy to be able to represent them well, and to come out tonight and walk out and see those stands packed from wall to wall. It just gives you chills. Say, wow.
Now let's start with the game a little bit. Early on, you guys come out, you score quick, go 7-0. Their quarterback, they pin you deep. You get kind of field position there. They score on a short field, and they had the ball for a lot in the first quarter and a half. But in the second quarter, you guys settled in your defense. You got a couple of turnovers. That was really, your offense obviously executed, but I feel like your defense and special teams put your offense in favorable positions tonight.
Yeah, we got to play all three phases of the game complementary. And defense was on the field for a while there in the first quarter, and we had a penalty and didn't get out the field, and then they converted to third down. And so they settled in. We all settled down. We had some penalties. We settled down and made some plays defensively, made some plays in the special team offense, got clicking, and we played well after that.
It starts with your quarterback, Julian Deuce Reese. He had an unbelievable game tonight, spreading the ball around. Multiple guys found the end zone. And we watched him in 7-on-7, and you could see kind of the growth from his sophomore year to his junior year. We could see it in the summer, and he looks like he's in full command of the offense. Obviously you got to watch film, and I'm sure there'll be probably things you correct, but first impressions of his effort tonight.
We trust Deuce with the ball in his hands. We practice, we work, we watch film. When you get to game time, you got to be able to trust the guy with the ball. Whatever decision he makes, we're going to ride with it. And he's been making great decisions. He's giving the right people the ball. He's handing it off in RPO time when he needs to. He's pulling it and running when he has to. He's going to check downs when he needs to. He'll throw the deep ball when it's fair. So he has a great command of the offense right now, and that's why we give him the ball and let him go and make those plays for us.
Defensively, they got it all. Coach Feliz does a good job with their scheme over there. What was the game plan coming in? You hold a good offense of 7 points. What was the game plan coming in? How do you feel like first impressions you guys executed that defensive game plan?
Number one, we got to go and make sure we tackle. So I thought we tackled well. The box did a good job of keeping their running back inside. We didn't want him to get on the edge and have some of those explosive runs that we've seen on film. Our secondary went out and played a lot of man coverage. We thought we could fare well in man coverage. We gave up one big play there in the first quarter down the seam. Other than that, I thought we covered pretty well. So, excited about how we're playing, and just know that we've got to play better in the weeks to come.
You've been a part of some teams, as an assistant coach that have made deep playoff runs. Now you got to handle success, right? You guys district champs, and now you win a playoff game. So, there'll be some pats on the backs, and much deserved pats on the backs. But obviously, what's the message to your kids when you get back to school tomorrow and, in front of them, now 24-hour rule, right? You got to kind of put it behind you and kind of start looking ahead, right?
Don't be satisfied. Whoever we play, Anna or Timberview, we're going to be an underdog. Those guys come out of the Metroplex, and they've all got offers, and they deserve them. They're really good football teams, both of them. Well-coached football teams, and they're big, they're strong, they're fast, and it's going to be a great test for us to get to go play some guys of that caliber. I think we play really good football here in the Panhandle, and that's what playoff football is about. We get out of our comfort zone against guys that we play yearly, against guys that we grew up playing against, and we're going to go play some guys that, never met, never seen. Let's go strap it up and play between the lines.
Do you feel like playing 7-on-7 this year and going to the state tournament, playing people like Longview and Lufkin and the Woodlands will help in that? Because, you guys have played the best in 7-on-7. So, it's not real football, but I think. Do you think there's something that can be taken from that? That hey, these are guys just like you, right?
Yeah, I think that the 7-on-7 really opened our eyes to being able to compete with anybody all over the state. Like you said, we went out and won the Tyler tournament and beat Lufkin and Longview and Mount Pleasant, and I believe it was Crandall. And so, we played some playoff teams out there and were able to win that tournament, and then went down to the state. And the Woodlands won and beat us 14-7. They ended up winning the whole thing, and we were inside the red zone 3 times, and we had some red zone stops, and they had some red zone stops. But I think our talent speaks for itself, and we've got to go and play well in the trenches. I think that's going to be the key for us is how well we play up front on both sides of the ball, and if we can handle that battle up front, our skill talent is just as good as anybody's in the state.
All right, final question before we get you out of here. Let's talk about the hair. Tell us the story. I want to hear your story.
Yeah.
Tell us the story with the hair and the kids.
Well, the truth behind the story is in 2005 when we all started coaching, DJ Man had long dreadlocks.
DJ had dreadlocks?
DJ Man had dreadlocks. And being a black coach in 2005, they were told he was advised you need to cut your hair. That's not professional. And I got to a place in 2021 where your hair doesn't define who you are, and it doesn't define you professionally. And so I started growing it out, and it turned into, well, we're not going to cut it until we win a playoff game. So 5 years later, Coach Mims has dreads and has always been a clean-cut waves guy. And I cannot wait to go and get a clean cut and a brush and some wave grease and a do-rag and get this off my head.
You know how much playoff superstitions are. Maybe you got to let it keep
No,
going,
sir.
man.
So when's the haircut?
No,
when is the haircut?
We're about to go chop them off right now.
There you go. There's Eric Mims, a guy who's a bi-district champ and who's about to get a haircut. Congrats, Coach. And good luck next week.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.